Hi guys, welcome back. This is the Christmas episode. So I'm here to talk to you about German American culture, lifestyle, and my exploration and discoveries moving from Munich to LA. And today we're gonna look at Christmas in Germany and Christmas in the US. I have already spent a few Christmas times in the US. One in Arkansas when I was 17. Actually, no, I was 16 when I did a high school exchange year there. Then one in San Francisco about 12, 13 years ago when I did an internship at a law firm there. And I have spent Christmas here last year, but I just shortly arrived before Christmas, and I think what really makes Christmas is the Christmas time, like the, let's say 4, 5, 6 weeks leading up to Christmas. That is actually the time for me personally that makes Christmas so special. And I'm a big Christmas lover, so I really celebrate and indulge into that season. And so I'm gonna take you a little bit into what I missed, also what I really love here, because actually talking about all the differences in German and American Christmas would be a lot. We would still sit here tomorrow, and we want to keep this short and in, little digestive parts for you. So I'm just gonna take you a bit into my Christmas time. So what I always want to make clear is if I speak about Germany or the US, I'm totally aware that not all of Germany is the same and not all of the US is the same, especially not all of the US is the same. But I'm talking here mostly about my experiences. So obviously a lot of what I experience in Los Angeles, and we're gonna actually look at this pre-Christmas time, mainly in LA. We're not going to be here for Christmas in LA. We're traveling to Patrick's family, but yeah, we have spent the whole season here. So let's dive into this. What I really miss about a German Christmas time are the Christmas markets. So Christmas markets, maybe you've seen pictures, maybe you've visited some, maybe you've heard of them. If you're German, you know what I'm talking about anyway. They're just those really nice, partly crafts market. You get a lot of traditional, but also just like kind of junk food to eat. But it's usually, everything you get is pretty good. There are a lot of crafts to buy. Of course, we drink a lot of Glühwein, the mulled wine there, and Feuerzangenbowle. I don't really know if there's a translation for that. It is made with rum and sugar and spices, and it just tastes incredibly good. Although I personally really don't drink a lot of alcohol. This is really one of my favorites that I usually, if I was in Germany, would have like 1 or maybe 2 a season. So yeah, just the feeling of going to Christmas markets and exploring them, doing some Christmas market hopping, which I like to say, because just in Munich, we have over 20 different Christmas markets, and they have different themes, they have different setups. So we have the traditional Christmas markets, we have the a little more modern Christmas markets, we have a pink Christmas market, we have more like a medieval type Christmas market. So there are a lot of different themes of Christmas markets, and it's just so fun to wander around the city and visit different Christmas markets. They usually start roundabout between the 20th and 25th of November, and they end on the 23rd of December. So there is about a month to explore them all. What I also really miss here are advent calendars. Advent calendars are a big thing in Germany, and you can find some here. Yes, I did a great search and I did find some, but they're just not as cool, and the variety is so small compared to Germany. In Germany, you can really get advent calendars with everything, just plainly with chocolate, very traditional, but then also cosmetics are a big thing, treats, tea, but then also wine, beer, other alcohol, socks, games. So there's really, I think, most brands will actually come out with an advent calendar, and then there are also brands that combine different brands. So yes, advent calendars are a big thing, and I miss them because I love opening a door every day until the 24th. So it's kind of like meant to shorten the wait time. It starts on December 1st and it ends on December 24th. I was actually a little desperate in not finding what I wanted, or also what I wanted to give to Patrick. So I actually made a really cool advent calendar for him this year. And it's a little bit for me too, because I have put everything in there at the end of November, so I forgot what's all in there. And so every day when he opens his door, it's a little bit, you know, a surprise for me too. And my mom sent me one with pictures, which I very much like. And so yeah, I'm good with advent calendars, but that's something I would miss to buy here. The third thing is the German weather. Since we're here in LA, it's usually sunny and usually blue sky, there are palm trees, and everything is really beautiful. But I grew up with, you know, Christmas being in a wintertime climate. Doesn't mean it's always snowing, doesn't mean it's always super cold, but it does have the winter climate and the winter feeling. Actually, today it's raining here. The sky is very gray, so this feels a little more like Christmas. But in general, yes, I am missing the weather. So by the way, actually, treats, I don't know to say that I like them better in Germany or in the US, or, you know, what you get here. I personally think that there is a much bigger variety of special Christmas treats in Germany, like having certain cakes and certain sweets for Christmas, like gingerbread and other types of cakes, for example, or also cookies. Very particular Christmas cookies does have a long tradition. And that's something I'm missing here a little bit. On the other hand, you guys in the US have peppermint bark, and we don't have that in Germany, and I love it. So that kind of like equals it out. What I love about Christmas in the US are those beautifully decorated houses. So that is a thing you find in Germany, but pretty rarely, I want to say. And here we found like the most beautiful decorated houses with lights and sculptures and Santas and Grinches, and I just find it's gorgeous. It's really nice, and I really appreciate people taking so much effort but also money in decorating their house. What I also love here is getting everything in a Christmas scent. So, for example, the sugar cookie scent, you can get your coffee, you can get your matcha, you can get hand soap, body lotion, you can get candles, you can get everything in a sugar cookie scent, or in a peppermint bark scent, or in an eggnog scent. I personally have an eggnog shower gel, and I actually have a sugar cookie deodorant, which I love to death. So that is something I very much appreciate in the US. And what I also really love here is the tradition of putting up the tree very early. So in Germany, very traditionally, we only put up the tree on the 24th, and then the kids are not allowed to enter the room until the evening, where in Germany we celebrate Christmas Eve, and the Christkind, so the child of Christ we call it, comes and brings the presents. It's a little different to here. And yeah, that is the tradition. You will find people now putting their trees up a little earlier. But yeah, the long-time tradition of here setting up the tree the end of November or beginning of December is something that is not a tradition in Germany, and I like it because you have much more of the tree. You can look at it all, all December, all pre-Christmas season, and I just really like having the tree up for so long. It also makes it easier to then take it down after Christmas and clear the space for everything new to come. So in Germany, it's more the tradition to keep the tree up at least until the 6th of January, whereas here, if I've already had it put up for all December, I then like to take it down after Christmas. With this, we come to another topic I would like to talk to you about, the Yuletide. I was very surprised to find out that Yuletide and the Yule nights are not something that is very known here. So it is a Celtic tradition, and it has spread a lot over Europe, and especially in Central and Northern Europe, we celebrate that particular magic time. It's a time of introspection, it's a time of contemplation, it's a time of connecting to self. But what is it I'm talking about? My grandma had this tradition that it was not allowed to do any laundry over Christmas, especially not hang any laundry over the nights of Christmas. And as a kid, I never understood why, but I adopted it for myself. Maybe 10-15 years ago, when I first heard of the tradition of the Yule nights or the Yuletide, I got familiar with all the rituals and customs around it. So the time of the Yuletide is a threshold. It is where the veil to the other world has been lifted and the doors are wide open. So, as they say, ghosts are coming into this world, and it's much easier for us to connect with our ancestors, for example. When the ghosts are coming at night and you have especially sheets hanging up, as they did in earlier days, and a ghost gets stuck in your sheet, it's said to be a death sheet, which means that somebody of your family, of your loved ones, will die in the upcoming year. So that is one of the customs and myths around it. That's why you don't do laundry. Up to this day, I mean, it's hard to not do laundry for 12 days and nights. So I do some laundry, but I really pay attention that nothing hangs overnight. So I will wash in the morning and take it down before it gets dark. Okay, but so why 12 and when are the Yule nights? So as you know, the solar year has 365 usually days, sometimes 366. And the lunar year has 354 days. And the gap of these 11-12 days and nights, that is called the Yule nights. It is the time between time. If you consider a breath and you pay attention to inhaling, and then you will notice there's a little gap, and then you exhale. And that's how you can picture those 12 days and nights. It is a break. It is a break in between the years. It is a time that really invites us to slow down, to connect to ourselves, to smoke a lot, for example, with sage or Palo Santo, to use essential oils to fill up the energy, to journal a lot. You pay a lot of attention to your dreams. And all of these myths and traditions and customs are celebrated in those 12 days and nights of Yule. So the Yule nights start by the Celtic tradition with the winter solstice, so on December 21st. The Christian tradition adopted it a little bit to the 24th. Since Central and Northern Europe is mostly Christian, or just has is in a mostly Christian tradition. A lot of people start celebrating the Yule nights after the 24th of December. I personally, for me, decided also always to start with the 24th. And that has more practical than any religious or Christian reasons. I'm not super Christian. So, because the nights or the days before Christmas, especially like the 2-3 days and nights between winter solstice and Christmas, are just very busy usually. And I personally don't find that time to really go within, and I don't want this to be stressed. So that's why I personally go with the tradition of starting on the 24th. And what I have actually decided for this year, after I learned that it's not very known here, I'm gonna take you on my journey of the Yule nights this year. And I will post you a video on each day, so it'll be 12 videos, I guess, yes. And I will take you with me on that journey because you can really learn a lot. And it's too theoretical if I just explain everything now. It's like, if you're interested in that, please come and watch those videos and celebrate the Yule nights with me here on YouTube, on my channel. What you can do until then is you can get yourself a journal, you can get yourself a candle, you can get yourself some smoking supplies like white sage or Palo Santo. You can get yourself a few of your favorite essential oils. Maybe a nice cocoa or tea for a tea or cocoa ceremony. And I think if you get those things together, you will be set up well. Please try to clean out your space a little bit. You can already start smoking out your space, starting with winter solstice. And I will see you next on the 24th for our next video. And if you're interested in learning more about German and American traditions, me exploring my new life in LA, then you should consider to subscribe and stick around.